Everybody calls me Billy. My name's William Ward McDaniel, and I'm from Bristol. I went here 6 years. I went to Slater first through the 6th grade, and it's fun. It's different. All black, and I really enjoyed it. You've had a lot of close one-on-ones with the teachers. Very good. Everybody knew everybody. You go to other schools, you didn't know everybody once you got there. Yes. Just about 10 or 15 minutes up the street, I used to walk here. Five boys, 3 girls. Oh, yeah, we used to fight for the bathroom. Get in there, one bathroom, no doors on the bedrooms. There was a door in the bathroom, though. And you get in there, and 2 or 3 of us get in there, and we get in, get out, and we all head to school, start walking together as a family. And then we'd meet the other friends on the street. We had certain times we'd meet together and walk on down here, walk on to school.
Who were some of your close buddies?
That we were raised up with? Oh, we was raised up with the Gillespies. I knew the Gillespies. We had Morton's down the street that we used to come. I was trying to think of some of the others too we was raised up with. Mostly around there was the Gillespies, the Mortons, and we had, who else I'd get here with? Oh, I knew the Spriggses right here. So Spriggs was new. All families that were in the school here together. I knew the Clarks, the Whites, Campbells, Carters. Right across the street was a Carter family I was raised up with, played with them. We all went to school together, raised up together. Mr. Otis Spriggs used to play knuckles with us, with the marbles. And that's the old game, probably it's gone away now, isn't it? Marbles. And it was played for a called knuckles. You had to lay your knuckles down for them. He hit you with the marble. Flip a marble on it as a kid. Yes, I knew. I had Miss Mead, 1st grade. Librarian was Miss Green. I had Miss Cloyd. Had Miss Cloyd. Had another one too. I'm trying to think of her name. You get 65, you just start losing these names. What was her name? We had her. She was like the 5th and 6th grade principal of this school. And I was trying to think of her name. I can't think of it right now, but I remember the Whites. Whites was here. But that's some of the teachers I remember. I was in the 6th grade, so you probably 10, 11. They sent a group over here, talk to us, console us, I guess. They was going to move us out of here, take us to another school and talk to us. Everything's going to be all right. We all was wondering why they wasn't coming to us, taking us out of our neighborhood where we were comfortable at. Yes, it was a challenge. From going from here, going over, and getting up to the par in at the educational level and stuff like that. And we had to take our culture to them, trying to adopt to them. It was a challenge. And trying to get up to speed with our education to their education. They was ahead of us, I think, just a little bit on the educational-wise. Well, it's challenging, wasn't it?
I thought we were probably equal and everything. But that's the thing that they done. They set us back a year after leaving from the 6th grade. We had to start back at the 5th to go into the white schools. And that was a kickback in every one of our teeth.
This building.
They just, one time, it just shut down. It was empty before they put this in it.
Well,
it was empty.
It turned into a trade school, what they did. It took about a year to 2 years to convert
Get it back up to par.
And by the time I got from junior high to high school, it was a trade school. And the last 3 years of my high school, but coming back over here, I didn't have to pull 4 years. And I wasn't in the computer system then, and they got my high school done in 3 years, but I was passing both 11th and 12th grade history, and they couldn't fail me because I was in my 4th or 5th weeks in the 6 weeks period when they found it out. And they said, you can't do that, but they couldn't fail me because I was passing both of them. Mr. Williams.
I forgot about him. He was over here at Slater.
Yeah, I was in both of them. I was over at Slater and over at Tennessee High. Yeah, Mr. Williams was, everybody that went over had to have master's degrees. Our teachers that left from here to Slater, if they wasn't master's degree, they wasn't hired. Yeah, they about 5 out of probably 15.
Mr. Williams, Mr. White got one.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr. Crump.
And one that
He
taught
went to
music,
junior
Mr.
high.
Music, over
Yeah,
at New Behind Band.
Miss Duff,
Miss Duff,
Banky.
Mr. and Mrs. Duff taught.
Yeah, 'cause they
They was
had
in there.
master's degrees.
Who else?
And,
Anybody else?
Well, I was just thinking, they didn't take Miss
Yeah.
Brown, she was good.
No, Miss
Miss
Brown.
Cloyd was our 5th grade teachers, and Miss Mead, and then we had another one down there, I forget her, but right up here's where her husband lived on the right. Miss Cloyd, that was her name.
They didn't take her.
No, there was a lot of them, and see, then, Mr. Sims, he went over, he was our head football coach here, but he went to junior high over in Tennessee high school system.
And he finally ended up in Memphis.
Yeah.
How,
We went from a family environment here to just like a number in a crowd. That's what it
That's what I'm telling you, everybody knew everybody
Yeah,
here.
and I loved it.
We knew all the high school kids, and everybody knew everybody. Even though they was up here, we knew them.
Yeah, I loved it here, but at the same time, I loved it when I went over there, 'cause I had more boys that I could fight with.
Walk.
When they wasn't fighting.
In the alley, you go
Fighting
to,
when I left from over there.
they could take them to the alley, call the alley at the Vans. See
Yeah,
who's the
I
better
stayed
man.
in trouble.
See who's the better man was it,
Stayed
man?
in trouble.
Well, we go home, we had stuff to do with the house, we
Yeah,
had
we had
chickens
work-
in the
we
homes
had
and stuff.
work with our
We had
animals.
work at our house,
And mow grass.
mow grass, we had stuff around there just
We
like a
had
little
to work.
farm.
We had to work.
Or we had to work,
Yeah, we
get
had
coal
hogs
in,
and
wood.
chicken, yeah, and the stuff to do at home.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
what's the,
Build a fire,
Probably take care of the hogs and.
hogs and get the chickens and
We
stuff.
had to make sure every one of our animals was up, took care of them. We had everything up there on goats, horses and everything. But it's amazing what you do.
Build a fire, get up in the morning, see who's gonna make that fire at night, get up and make that fire.
Right?
3 in the morning?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
And get the coal
Well, it
in.
went over to all
Cold.
heat after we left home. After we went out, got on our own, it started changing the house did. But everybody had jobs.
We
to
had
do.
chores to do.
Daddy, all mama taught us how to work. We got a regular job, started working after school at places. One of my first jobs I got was shoveling horse manure in the barn for about $25 a week. And I loved it. Then I got a job working as a book, delivering books for Kim and Cochran downtown.
But Mom would always take us, we'd always work at Chemical, mow their yard.
Yeah, and
We'd
your,
mow yard, rake leaves all day long.
your first,
$5.
yeah, but your first job was bagging.
Yeah, at
groceries.
A&P,
Yeah.
bagging groceries.
His
A&P.
first paying job.
Daddy'd take us out there
Well,
to
we'd
Kim's.
always get either the bus or we'd walk. That's the way we done. Well, we had a barber shop down on Front Street. Then we had Robinson's Mortuary. And then Mr. Simon Williams had his pool
Cab.
hall, and the Carters had the cab
Cabs.
stand,
That's right,
and they sold coal.
that's right.
And we had let's see what else we
What
had.
other business, well,
Wasn't much that they
wasn't
done.
many
A lot of them
businesses here,
worked.
was it?
And then the Lees had their hot tamales, and they did them, but they was more out of their house. And we had always several clubs and stuff where people hung out, but that was about it, wasn't
The
it?
Hut.
Well, the Hut, that was the name of it. Veterans, and back then, see, they had the VFW segregated, where they were like blacks and white. Now they just one club, I think, and tore all of them down. Most of the black VFWs is gone. Now, we had a lot more black churches, I believe, when we was little, because every congregation was a different church, and now we just about all combined. And I remember when we had just about 100%, where it was all black people in your church, and then it started filtering and mixing as it took over.
As times
Oh, it's really changed in the last 50 to 60 years. Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful history of it. Well, I started working, driving not a bus, a little old van for Kim Cochran's, and they kept me delivering books and paper for like about a year and a half, and then I got a job at Valleydale. And I thought I'd moved up to heaven, working at a place processing meat. I spent 7.5 years there with them, and then I spent the other 20-some years down at Raytheon working after I left Valleydale. Yeah.
And I went to work, I worked at bag groceries, worked as a quarry, I worked at city of Bristol, Tennessee, worked on the trash, brush and everything, remember that?
Yeah.
Finally went to the quarry working, and that's when they come up there and told us they was looking for a black man to work in the department down there, sheriff's office. Mac, you wanna try this? We sure was. And, we'd have went down in money, we're in the quarry, I was making a little more money than working up there. But I went down there and tried it, and was there, hardly 11 years, still, almost 41 years there. Now I'm doing part-time Tennessee side, police department. I retired out of the sheriff's office 40-some years, about 41. Then I've been with Tennessee side now for about 3 years, part-time. Bristol, Tennessee, PD. I recruited, had a black, I guess the federal government come out and had to have a black man for the sheriff's office years ago. It's federal law, you had to have a minority in it. Years ago, almost 40-some years ago, between 40 and 50. So they come up and recruited a black man. I was.
His first one.
I was first one on Virginia side, my brother's first one on Tennessee side.
On the police department.
Department.
Okay.
First, very first.
Mhm.
Me and my brother's the first blacks on the department.
Tell
Well,
me,
first, very challenging. You go in there, I didn't know what to expect. It's green. I was green as a goat going in there. Didn't know nothing. Didn't know how to expect. You go in there, got a place full of, you put a uniform on, got to clean up, shave, we had froze back then. I had a little mustache and stuff, had to clean up. But it's very challenging. You're going into, as a black man, going into an all-white department where you don't see nobody but you as a black man. But I was very accepted. They was very accepted. I found out some people of what I did as hobbies and stuff, and we just got tight knit. I remember one I really tight knit. I run to Herman Eller. He found out I had big old dogs, and me and him come real tight. And he just took me under his wings, and he molded me and fixed me. And Mr. Moore and them, and just got real close with him. And even matter of fact, the sheriff was real good to me. Treated me just like family.
Yeah, now tell
My
him
sheriff
about
on
that
that.
one.
Treated me just like family.
Tell him
My
about-
very first house, what's that?
Tell him where when you decided to go to the troopers, they wanted you to get that job.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him about what sheriff done for you. He said, Bill, if you don't like it,
Come on back. And then
kept
come on
his
back.
job after he
Yeah,
left.
I
He
want to
said,
try to
"Go
get him
try
to
it."
recruit me to the state police,
State.
and we evidently I didn't make it in the shooting up there, and because he's come on back here and he worked for me, and that's where I finished up my career.
yeah.
He got on to him about his car, said, you can't have a car like that. The one he had in Tennessee was a Firebird, and it was street legal over here, but they didn't want him to drive it. And it was a new Firebird. And then he said, I'm coming back home, I'm keeping my car, I got my job. He's been here since. They didn't like it, because he had a brand new Firebird on the on the highway patrol department, wasn't it? He had a pretty car, but he's always had his cars, we both had them. I got killed in one about a block from here too. Well, me and him, we went to hunting and fishing.
Uh-huh.
We didn't do sports, we just started hunting and fishing. And we stayed busy like that, and we had a good-
Daddy taught us, in order to get stuff in your life, you got to get it. He didn't have it, we didn't have a parents where and stuff come easy for us. We had to work and get it. That's what he taught us. Stuff handed, matter of fact, a bicycle, you had to get it on your own, right, Walt?
Yeah, everything.
Anything we got our own.
Bought our lawnmower. We just
Everything we
got our
wanted,
equipment.
that taught us in life to
We started
take
buying,
care of stuff as we got it.
we got
we earned it.
chainsaws, we cut wood, we cut a whole mountain top of
Our-
wood off.
Our daddy wasn't able to do that.
3 or 4 years, didn't we?
We'd work and get our money and buy all the stuff ourselves.
As long
And
as
that's
that.
the way you grow up.
We cut wood for 10, 15 years,
Mhm.
didn't we?
Mhm.
Firewood and sold it and stuff, and just kept our houses warm and stuff, and built our homes. Just all.
all over.
All
Yes.
Bristol, Virginia, and
Tennessee.
Tennessee. We bought license in both states. and
We
stuff.
go out South Holston, they
We
fish the
fish.
creek.
Everywhere.
We enjoy a lot.
Rogersville, Tennessee, all around. We went places and fished, but we had good, that was the weekends. Work during the week and then go fishing and stuff on
There on
weekends.
Sundays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Certain people would let us come on their property and stuff. You had to know where you could fish at, cause everybody didn't like it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you get on their property and do stuff they didn't know you, so we had a reputation, we'd do good and treat people right. They'd always welcome you back. Didn't turn nothing up and things. It's like when you go to stores and stuff, we traded at certain stores and went in certain places where they would respect you and be good to each other and they trusted you, and then places where they didn't want your business, we didn't go in it.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let you trade with them and just pushed you out the door. It was places in downtown Bristol, we had to use the bathroom at the train station here before me and my mom and brother, before we could go downtown like the H.P. Kings and places we could spend our money, but we couldn't use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we could buy their merchandise, but yeah, after that was, you couldn't even go to the bathroom in them stores. And there was several of them up and down State Street. That's one of the reasons why that I don't have much use for State Street today. I said, hey, when the malls come in, we could go to the bathroom, we was welcome. And then, hey, it just took off from in, we just stayed out of State Street down there. No, there's one store right here at the corner, it was Ralph English's, he didn't want nobody black to come through his store. I said, no, I won't ever step a foot in there. It was something else this place was. Another thing was the theaters. We had the Leda, Columbia, and the Cameo. And it was about 4 or 5 theaters, but they'd always, the whites would sit downstairs and the blacks had to sit upstairs. They had sections you had to sit in. And at the Cameo, I kind of laughed about that, where we was upstairs. They would throw the stuff down on them and they tried to throw it back. And then the others, you sat on the left and the right or in a little corner. It was really funny. And the old Lee and Columbia theaters, you said it'd be like rats and stuff running across your feet and things. It was an experience. And then the transformation, you'd see like some of the whites would want to learn to come into black places and different things. They're like, can we go in with you or walk in with somebody that they knew they wouldn't go in on their own? But it was an experience. It is. Come on, I know you, or let's go in together. It was something else. The transformations and things you go through. And we had some good white guys and things that's been with us. The Carmacks and different ones, and Cartwrights, they go by, and then the Leonards next door, and the Dawson boys. And
Yeah,
we all would run around together, and they treated us just like family. We treated them the same way.
You like working in the cafeteria here, Miss Christie? She always took care of you.
Yeah, everything.
Feeding you very well back
It's like
here.
a family.
Back
They
here,
made sure
here's-
you come to school and eat and was
Eat
clean
well.
and took care of.
Very
And they
well.
bust children out of Bluff City up, and then they bust them down from Glade Springs all the way
Here,
down
to hit the
to go to school here in Douglas and Slater. And we have big times, like we played football and stuff on Thursday night, and then the white guys would
And
use
the
the stadium on Friday
Fridays.
night. But it'd be more crowd here at Slater and Douglas games than it would be at Tennessee High, cause everybody put on a good sports venue here.
Here, Slater Douglas game.
Oh, yeah. and then
Slater
you got
Douglas.
B. Johnson City and Kingsport, different schools, but we at Slater, we had a reputation, you didn't wanna lose. We did not wanna lose, and when we left from here to go to Tennessee High, the first 2 or 3 years, they run the national championship in 71s, and we went over like in 66, but at the same time, we never lost a game. We wanted to play to win every game we wanted to be in. And I was amazed at how, we was in sports over there, that how they would just, like it was nothing to lose a game. And we had the attitude, we wanted to win, and the boys that played here, that's how they ended up with the national championship. What a George Heath. George Heath was one of the star players. Now, I would have stayed with the team, but we went to Irwin, Tennessee, and they wanted us to play one night from coming from behind. I said, I'm not going out playing from behind because I've been put on the field ever since that I started. And the night that they told us that they tried to say that we had to check y'all's grade cards to make sure y'all was passing before y'all could play. And I said, well, I never heard that before. And at the same time, when they said that we need to put y'all in because we were playing from behind and catch up, I said, I'm not putting my helmet on and going out there for you. I'll quit. And I never went back in a uniform to play for them, but some of them stayed, and that's how they got the national championship. And we left from Irwin, Tennessee, and they throwed and busted the windows out of the bus. They didn't even want in. They called you names and everything sitting down there in Irwin, Tennessee. Right here at Tennessee High, but they wanted us to play like in the last fourth quarter because they was behind. I said, I'm not going on the field. I don't play from behind. We play to win from the start. That was it. I just never put it back on. I said, when I got home, I said, I'm done with it. I said, I ain't gonna play if you ain't gonna play me all season. I never rode the bench. I think Otis Spriggs and maybe Michael Meade and he's dead now, Charlie McCurdy. It was 5 or 6 of us that ever did put a uniform back on. '70 or right at 69, right in there. The years, our junior and senior years, probably over. Yes, sir. Sophomore years at Tennessee High.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anyway.
Oh, Irwin's off limits for black people. He just made a mess. But we beat them. We beat them down there and we beat them up here. And they just didn't like it. I'm telling you, they called us names. We had to stand on the sideline with our helmets on at these when we went down there to their games. And see, now like here, when we had games, they fed us meals and everything after the games was over. And when we went to Tennessee High to start playing, it wasn't nothing just to thank you and get out and go on home. Take your shower if you wanted to, or go home like you were. They didn't even want you to take a shower with Tennessee High under John Keller and Cropnam over there to run it. Yes, sir. We just went on home after the game was over, our clothes on. Some of them stayed in there, but at the same time, it was different. It was altogether different. Yes, sir. The first time like advanced junior high, I mean, they dumped my clothes out in the locker room, the stuff that I bought when I went over, when I went down to do my sports. Yes, sir. My whole basket of my gym clothes was
Just
thrown
dumped out
in the floor and lost. And I bought a brand new suit. We had to buy gym clothes. We couldn't wear our clothes like we did here. It was all different environment. But they brought them back. Because I wrote them a little note and put on the wall. I said I had allergic skin disease. It was about 8 uniforms laying on the floor. I picked mine out, washed them up, took them on. I said, that's the way you get your clothes back. But we had a good time. I said, hey, don't get mad, get even. That's the way my motto was, just don't get mad, just get even. Yes, sir, one way or another. We had some good times. Never be the same. Wonder I didn't get killed or something, but I enjoyed it. I did. I loved acting a fool. But we didn't travel up that way.
They didn't go that way?
No, with Tennessee, we had to go to down in Tennessee games. They didn't play. Now Douglas probably would, or Virginia side, the
Okay.
line right here would.
They started in varsity in the 7th grade here, didn't
Well,
they? See, I was in 6th grade. Started him in 7th, 8th.
No, I started in the 5th grade playing varsity. We didn't have enough, and Billy wasn't in on that squad, because he was younger than me and smaller, but at the same time, it was 4 or 5 of us, Mr. Sims, to get his sponsorship. He had to have like 30 men on the roster, and he had like 22 guys that year playing high school ball here. And he took 6 of the bigger, younger guys. We played pee-wee ball, what we was in, just starting. And we was probably about 150 pounds size. He put varsity uniforms on us. we sat into the front of and he took our pictures and got a squad of 30 to get his sponsorships. And so anyway, it was like, I was one, Michael Meade was another one, and an oldest might have been David Walker that lived right here below the school. And there was another two, maybe a Franklin, Tommy Franklin, one of them. It was the bigger kids, youngsters then they'd call us, the young men. And we sat in our uniforms, we said, now puff your pads up. And we sat down on the front.
Hard to imagine that.
And they
Fifth grade,
took
fifth, sixth grade, what he said.
They took
Going
our
to the varsity.
pictures. And we played with Harold Roller and Johnny McCurdy and all the varsity guys, but after we got our pictures made, see, we practiced and stuff and played pee-wee ball, but at the same time, we got our sponsorship for our high school bunch, and then we was like on the varsity squad, pee-wee squad, and A-team football before we went to junior high. We played all three, and that's why we didn't want to lose. We had a good reputation. I said, wow. And we got to ride on the bus with the varsity team and eat and stuff, but we didn't play. He just sat on the sideline. Cause we went everywhere.
Head count.
He took us one time, I never forget it, over to, and we got to play a team in Virginia, and as far as we went, Dant, Virginia, that was the name of it. And
Count.
it was just like a
Cold
field-
camp.
Yeah, a field-in game, and at Dant, we brought them over here and we gave them like a spaghetti dinner, and I thought that was wonderful to feed them, but when we got over there, they sliced us a bologna sandwich off and put us back on the bus and said, get out and go to Bristol, cause we beat them like 30 or something to nothing, but it was amazing how they treated us. And Yellow Coach bus line, we rode on them old bullet back buses, had the motor in the rear. Hey, I thought I'd went all around the world on that bus, but I loved it. And hey, we come on home, but we never just sat on the bench. That's all we done, our young guys. Well, yeah, they go to all the schools in Tennessee, yeah, schools like that, every black school that had one, that's where they went. And I guess when we got in the playoffs, we get to go down deeper in Tennessee. But I never, had to go on them, but at the same time, we made them a varsity team, man. Yes, sir. I think looking after each other, it made us what we are. And that's the way we done. We looked out for each other, all of us, all the way through. My older brothers, my sisters, Murray, Buddy, Tommy, the only one that ain't here is Harold. My sisters, we looked out for them. We looked out for each other. And I guess that's what Mama, Daddy put in us. Take care of each other, didn't they? That's the way me and him are today. That's it, I think.
Taught you and you don't want for that. I never in my life wanted for anything. Hunger, food, money, anything.
He hurts, I hurt. The way we are.
Y'all
You jump on Billy, you gotta take both.